finances in marriage.
Yes.
And
Yeah, let's talk about marriage and financial hardship.
yeah, and
What do couples go through when they're facing marriage and financial hardship? When their marriage is facing financial hardship, what steps do they take?
yeah,
Do they tell the kids about it? Do they let them in on their financial problems and struggles, um, and just different things of that nature? Uh, so, how do we want to get started?
well, I think as I was thinking, one of the major causes
Mm-hmm.
of divorce,
Mm-hmm.
say one of the major causes of divorce, or one of the major things that contribute to divorce is finances.
Okay.
And when couples get married, hey, Pastor Friends, thank you for joining
Hey.
us. When couples get married, they have this ideal
Yeah.
that love is going to conquer all, and it should.
Yeah.
But the reality of it is that you bring in two separate individuals into one place.
Mm-hmm.
We hope that you ain't married and living separate, but you
Right.
bring two separate households to one place now, finances,
And
and so
both couples have their own financial way of living. You know,
right,
they had their own, and if you don't talk about it before you get married, then you could very well face some financial hardships, because if you're living in both living in an apartment, and
mm-hmm,
then you get married and you move into a house, then that mortgage is gonna double the rent, or even triple the rent of
the
of
bills,
the apartment. So you
mm-hmm,
have to talk about things that you could possibly be facing,
yeah,
or what is going to happen if you run into this, and kind of set those goals ahead of time,
yep,
because you could very well run into some financial hardship.
yep, tension, financial hardships
Mm-hmm.
cause tension in the marriage,
Mm-hmm.
which affects other parts of the marriage.
Right,
So,
right.
so on today, we're going to talk about some tips. What do we do? How do you recover?
Mm-hmm.
How do couples maintain their relationship in the midst of all that tension?
Okay.
And what are some things that's good? What are some things that's bad? And if you got children, if you're used to living a certain way,
Mm-hmm.
and then something happens,
Mm-hmm.
if you get sick, God forbid somebody loses their job, and now the lifestyle has to change, and you'll be surprised at couples who marry each other for a lifestyle,
Mm-hmm.
and then that lifestyle change, especially when it comes down to finances. Then what do you do? What are the steps you take? What are some things we we need to be aware of
Okay.
in terms of couples as the bills start rolling in?
Right. Well, let's start with the. I want to start with the kids.
Okay.
Okay, so I remember a time when you and I were living in our apartment,
Mm-hmm.
and we had recently moved to an apartment, and I would say, I guess we did go through some financial hardships, and I was wanting to, or not wanting to, allow our kids to, tell our kids our business. I
Mm-hmm.
just figured it was our business, and we didn't need to let the children in on that we were going through financial hardship.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't want them in our business.
Mm-hmm.
That was half of it. The other half was, I had always stopped them, to get something to eat after school, like McDonald's, just
Mm-hmm.
as the mother daughter treat. I would
Mm-hmm.
stop them all the time after work, because I didn't have time to dinner was going to be later on,
Right.
and just for various reasons. And I just didn't. And they were always, we would go out to eat as a family on like
Mm-hmm.
the Friday nights, and
Mm-hmm.
just I would buy them certain things at certain times. And
Mm-hmm.
so we had to make a conscious choice and decision to sit our children down and let
Mm-hmm.
them know, look, mom and dad,
Mm-hmm.
we need to scale back,
Mm-hmm.
and so we may not have told them all of our business, but we told them enough for them to understand that, um, you know, we're not financially able to stop you to McDonald's every day,
Right.
or go out to eat on
Right.
Fridays. The
Snacks.
things that they were accustomed to,
Right.
we had to scale back on it. And I think it's really good to not keep secrets from your children, but at the same time let there be a limit as
Right.
to how far you go, because
Right.
sometimes kids can't hold water and they may be out telling your business to
Yep.
other people.
Yep.
So you let them know, the discussion that y'all are having is confidential, but you want them to also know that, we're not going to be, going here and there. We're going to be eating more at home, or I'm not going to be buying you all this stuff. And that's something that the parents have to swallow their pride and not trying to,
good.
trying to keep up with the Joneses. So, and that's another topic within itself.
Yeah.
But so we made that decision to tell our kids when we needed to scale back. We didn't have pride in that area. We didn't mind telling them. They didn't like it all the time, but they understood it, and they understood the honesty, I believe, as well.
So because they could have created tension. They could have brought some unnecessary tension in terms of complaining, getting mad, and being divisive, dividing us against one another. In terms of that, and we saw it as an opportunity to be transparent. That this is because it was a family issue. Although we were the financial breadwinners, they were spending some of their needs and their wants was impacting the family budget.
Right.
So we wanted them to know that, hey, listen, we're going to have to scale back. And that it also taught them that this is part of life. Because some individuals that don't involve their kids, or we want to teach them that in life you're going to have these type of problems. And so we wanted to kind of role model that when it comes down to financial problems, and you're spending more than you bring it in, then you got to really sit down and look at what's happening, and all of those needs are going to have to cut back. So we utilize it as an opportunity to teach them that this is life, because a lot of kids, and sometimes even our kids was growing up, and they was thinking that they didn't know about these issues. All they wanted was what they want, and they never saw what was going on behind the scenes. So yeah,
I agree. Now, what about trying to keep up with the Joneses?
Yeah.
Let's talk about that.
Boy, them Joneses is something else.
Yeah, I know the phrase.
Yeah, trying to keep up with the Joneses.
Yeah, because a lot of times we let's just say you live in you live in a nice neighborhood, and everyone down the street, down your road, they get their lawns lawn care, and they pay for the services of the hedges being trimmed, and the lawn being mowed by some professional services. All of those things, because you're doing it because everybody down the road is doing it. And so then financial hardship hits, and you're trying to keep up with your neighbor, but you know that you're not financially able. So instead of saving that money to pay the lawn boy or the lawn service, you could have just taken that money and gone out and bought a $100, $200, $300 lawnmower, and you can get out there and a push lawnmower. Y'all don't know about the push lawnmower. So y'all used to those ride lawnmowers. I myself even got out there. My dad had me getting out there pushing the lawnmower, so I know about that. I didn't do it that much, but I know about it. So instead of you buying your own, you're still trying to pay the lawn services, and then you're going under and under. You're getting yourself in a deeper hole because you're trying to keep up with the Joneses, or even buying a nice expensive vehicle when you know that you may not be able to afford it.
Yeah.
So why put yourself through that stress? You have to sit down and consider the cost, count the cost. So make sure that you're counting the cost and not trying to, or considering the cost and not trying to keep up with everyone else. Stop comparing yourself to someone else. What you don't know what they've been through to get that. You don't know what type of job they have, and just the things that they've had to endure, and how long it may have taken